Welcome to Module 12, Consoles and Control Surfaces. After completing this module, you should be able to explain the 5 functions of a console, the 2 types of consoles, the 3 main console sections, and signal flow. So what is a console? Well, the console is the tool that you use to control audio. All consoles provide the same basic 5 functions. Consoles take input audio signals and they amplify them, they balance them, they process them, they combine them, and they route them. Let's take a look at the first one. Consoles amplify. Consoles take an input signal with a certain level, and they provide an output signal at a different level. If it's greater, it's amplified. If the output level is less than the input level, the signal has been attenuated, so consoles attenuate, which is merely negative amplification. The second major function of a console, consoles balance. Here we see 2 different inputs, a saxophone and a vocalist. Using the console, we can balance the amount of signal from each. In this case, we want to hear the vocalist more predominantly than the saxophone. Consoles also process. We recall from previous modules that processing is changing the qualities of the audio. One of the most common uses of audio consoles is to combine audio signals. Here we see multiple sound sources which are combined to create a music mix. And finally, consoles route signals. That is, consoles can direct audio to many different places, depending on the complexity of the console and the knowledge of the operator. Okay, reviewing console functions then. Consoles amplify, they balance, they process, they combine, and they route signals. Let's consider the 3 major console sections. Every console has inputs. These inputs are designed to handle 2 different levels of audio signals. The very low levels, such as those that come out of a microphone, and the much higher levels, such as those that come out of CD players, mini-disc players, computers, and so forth. The second major section that every console has are outputs. Most consoles have multiple outputs. And finally, since consoles are used to control audio, you must have the ability to monitor the audio you're controlling. So every console has a monitor section. Again, in summary, the 3 major sections of consoles are inputs, outputs, and monitor or monitor and control. Very broadly speaking, there are 2 major types of consoles: broadcast consoles and production consoles. Broadcast consoles are designed to allow rapid changes, and they have limited mixing capabilities. If you're on the air live, you want to be able to make those changes quickly, and generally you will probably have no more than 3 audio outputs at the same time. For example, you might be segueing to songs while you're talking on the microphone, but seldom is there more audio outputs than those 3. Most on-air broadcast consoles are what is known as split-section consoles, which means that they have separate inputs, outputs, and monitor sections. The program material that's controlled by a broadcast console is generally pre-recorded music, commercials, public service announcements, as well as live content, announcers, phone interviews, and so forth. Such broadcast consoles provide ability to assign the input channels to a particular output. If we want the signal to go out on the air, we assign it to the program output. There is always a monitor output where we can listen to the signal, and there is always what is known as an audition output, where we can send the audio signal to another place besides on the air, such as a recording device or another radio studio. Compared to our broadcast console, a production console can usually accept many more sources. It almost always provides the ability to submix and the routing capabilities are usually much more extensive in production consoles. Production consoles are therefore more complex than broadcast consoles, and any sub-mastering buses are part of the architecture and the nomenclature for the console. Instead of being split-section consoles like the broadcast consoles, production consoles are usually inline consoles, which means that they have inputs, outputs, and monitor capability all in the same channel strip. Since consoles provide us the ability to mix multiple audio signals, busing is an extremely important function of a console. And very much like a real bus, where many people get on at different stops and get off at other stops, audio signals from the different input channels all get onto the same bus. Usually the main destination is the left and right stereo output of the mixing console, but there are other buses inside a mixing console. So a bus is a common pathway for audio signals. Since the main function of using an audio console is to control the audio, you must be able to monitor the audio levels that are going through the console. To accomplish this, all consoles have some type of metering, where voltage levels of the audio signals can be measured. There are 3 types of meters: volume unit meters, which measure the average program energy; peak program meters, which measure the program peaks or the instantaneous maximum sound levels; and the 3rd type of metering is known as loudness meters, which measure both volume units or average program energy and peak program energy. Just a word about control surfaces. Dedicated control surfaces, though they may look like audio consoles, may or may not have actual audio flowing through them. Dedicated control surfaces are strictly devices which send control signals to a digital audio workstation, and we all know that that's just a computer. This completes Module 12. But before continuing, can you describe the 5 different functions of an audio console? Can you name the 2 basic types of audio consoles and describe their differences? And can you explain the 3 major sections of audio consoles? If so, please continue to Module 13.
Loudspeakers and monitoring principles.